Have the New York Giants officially benched Daniel Jones? People are talking, and we're going to talk about it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, though, and your notifications are turned on, because when it is official that the Giants are removing Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback, we're going to go live, and I don't want you to miss it. So subscribe and set your notifications to all, and also on your device, enable YouTube notifications. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. As we go piece by piece here, as a couple of people are hinting that Daniel Jones has been benched by the New York Giants. We're going to go to some quotes from Adam Schefter, but first I want to go to the People's Insider, Pretty Ricky. If you know anything about Pretty Ricky, he is the People's Insider on Twitter, and he has a long track record and a long history of getting scoops before they hit the national media talking heads. And he's actually got a burner account now because his official account, he deleted it after a lot of back and forth. And he says, there is a Daniel Jones update. Do we bring my dead brother back to announce it, with the Undertaker right there? Then he went to recreate the Pretty Ricky 213 account, and he says, breaking, the New York Giants have informed quarterback Drew Lock that he will be the starter for the rest of the season, as Daniel Jones was unwilling to waive his injury guarantee. And you might be saying, Marshall, who the hell is Pretty Ricky? Who the hell is Ugly Ricky? And why is this dog wearing an NFL hat? And I get it. Well, what about a report that he called literally yesterday, saying a certain rookie quarterback is not well liked by his teammates? The maligned rookie play caller described as strange and lazy by his teammates. That was at 4:19 on the 11th of November. Then we wake up on the 12th of November, and local NFL media member who works for ESPN Chicago says, after talking to a few people with knowledge of the situation, players went to Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles asking them to make a change at offensive coordinator. There have also been a few veteran players requesting Tyler Bagent starts and Caleb Williams is benched. So he was right on that one. Then today, Adam Schefter hopped on a podcast and he said, I would guess, he says guess, I wonder why he would guess this, that Daniel Jones never plays another snap for the New York Giants. Look, I don't think Adam Schefter would guess unless he has some strong indication from that. So if you don't want to believe Pretty Ricky, I think the paper trail is there with Schefter and him guessing that the Giants are going to bench Daniel Jones. And look, the Giants have no other choice but to bench Daniel Jones as they sit at 2-8 on the season, and there is a $23 million injury guarantee. But it's not just Pretty Ricky or Ugly Ricky, and it's not just Adam Schefter. Even Brian Dable sounds like he is officially done with number 8. He was asked by the media this week if Daniel Jones will be the starting quarterback coming out of the bye, and Dable said, quote, we are going to spend a lot of time here watching our tape and evaluating things, and we'll do that as a coaching staff over the next week here. We are evaluating our team at the bye week is what we are doing. We'll go back and we'll evaluate things and decide what we want to do here. We've got a week to go ahead and really dig into it. This was the first time that Brian Dable did not respond with Daniel Jones is going to be our starting quarterback. Daniel Jones gives us the best opportunity, and Daniel Jones is the guy that is going to lead this offense. He has been asked now for 5 straight weeks, it seems like, who is going to be your starting quarterback next week. And every single time, he has not hesitated to say Daniel Jones. Now he is saying we are going to evaluate things. Schefter is guessing that he will never start another down, and Pretty Ricky has another bombshell report. Look, this feels like the end for Daniel Jones, and how can it not be? The Giants have lost 5 in a row. It is season number 6 for him. The Giants can get out of his contract partially this offseason by cutting him and saving $19 million and the $23 million injury guarantee, which doesn't even sound like it's going to be a part of the process for benching Daniel Jones. Joe Schoen had a press conference today and said on the injury guarantee, it'll be a football decision. One, what the hell is a football decision? Is a football decision only if we're trying to win games or not? Or is it potentially not costing you $46 million next year of Daniel Jones? Because I would say that is a football decision. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. So someone can help me out. What's a football decision? Is it what's going to help us win the most? What's going to be best for the football team? Because benching Daniel Jones may be the answer to both of those. Look, I will say this. If for some reason Daniel Jones is not benched and he continues to play this year and he gets injured and the injury guarantee triggers and he's unable to pass a physical in March, Joe Schoen should be fired. That is a fireable offense because there is nothing Daniel Jones can do in the final 7 weeks that is A, going to get you into the playoffs, B, going to make your seat less hot, Joe Schoen, and C, do anything that should make him be on this roster next year. So bench him, and let's just rule out the possibility of him costing this team $23 million more than they have already paid, and he has already stolen. Who do you want to be the quarterback, though? I know the DeVito Mafia is strong, and maybe Drew Lock has some fans. I want to hear from you. We're going to do a video later this week on who I think should be the starter and why, but I want you to pick the QB you want under center for Big Blue. Coming up next, we have some takeaways, some notes, and some updates on the Giants from Joe Schoen. He spoke to the media at his bye-week press conference, and it was quite the listen. I got you on what he said coming up next. But first, I got to give a major shout-out to our proud sportsbook partner, DraftKings. When you use that promo code NIXCHAT and you bet $5, you're going to get $200 instantly. The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tourney, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NIXCHAT. That's code NIXCHAT for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/BBALL. Shout out to DraftKings. These are the plays that I'm rocking with for Week 11. Give me Bills, -2.5 versus Kansas City. The Dolphins, -7 versus Las Vegas. And Seattle, +6.5 at San Francisco. These lines and odds are subject to change. So if you like them, go out and bet them right now. Use that promo code NIXCHAT. You're going to get $200 for free when you make your first $5 wager. All righty, some takeaways from Joe Schoen and his press conference. A lot to talk about. Let's start with this. Joe Schoen was asked about if he thinks he's going to be back next year. And he said, yes. And then he was asked, have you heard that from John Mara? And he wanted to say yes, but he paused and then he recollected his thoughts and said, I speak with ownership every day. Sounds like Joe Schoen is going to be back and that the vote of confidence that John Mara gave this regime a couple of weeks ago is still holding strong. And Joe Schoen is going to be your general manager, as he also said he expects to operate under the circumstances of selecting players in the 2025 NFL Draft. So it sounds like Joe Schoen is going to be back. And it sounds like he doesn't think it'll be too long until the Giants are back in the playoffs and competing in the NFC East. He said, we are not far off. And I honestly agree. We talked about this yesterday on the channel. The Giants are 1-5 in one-score ball games this year. And that really determines the difference between a contender to make the playoffs and a team that is not contending. You win 2 of those games. You win 3 of those games that you didn't. You're 5-5. And he talked about the margin for error is so small. And that's because of the roster you put together. And that's because you employ Daniel Jones to be your starting quarterback. And that's because you did not go out and make a stronger effort to recruit Russell Wilson. One thing that Joe Schoen said was, which I loved for 1 second. He said, it starts with me. And I love hearing that from him because a lot of this is your fault. And a lot of the shining stars on this team are because of you. But I want a man that can be accountable. And he says, it starts with me. but I love the 2024 NFL rookie class we got. Like, he can't just for 1 second say it's my fault we're not good enough. He quite literally says it's my fault and then right into patting his own butt, like talking about how good he is. This 2024 draft class is awesome. I don't know. I just didn't love that. He always seems like he's the smartest in the world, and it is never, ever, ever Joseph Shane's fault. Joe Shane also pretty much made it clear that Daniel Jones is cooked. Multiple times he was pressed by Dan Duggan. He was pressed by Pat Leonard. He was pressed by other beat reporters. And shout out to the beat today. I thought they did an excellent job of asking questions and not letting him off the hook when he avoided those questions. But he didn't have any votes of confidence in Jones. He didn't say that Jones was going to be the starter. He didn't say that Jones is going to be back next year. He knows, I know, and you know that Daniel Jones is a cooked product. He also made it seem, though, like Russell Wilson did not want to sign with the New York Giants. Pretty much said it takes two to tango. And, yeah, it's going to take a lot for you to be able to tango with Russell Wilson when you tell him that Daniel Jones is a starter and you have to beat him out. Why the hell would Russell Wilson come play for the Giants? That was a mistake. Joe Shane was then asked if he regrets anything about how the Giants went about their quarterback position this offseason, and he's pretty much said yes by saying no. He said, no, you got to, with who we had, it was who we had. And that's BS because you could have had Sam Darnold, you could have had Russell Wilson, you could have had Justin Fields, and all of those players have won multiple games this season. Also, no changes to free agency ideas and process. A reporter, I don't remember who it was, very good question, said, you have let a lot of good players out the door. Talked about Saquon Barkley, talked about Xavier McKinney, talked about Julian Love and Ben Bredeson and others, and he said, not really. And then he went immediately back into talking about the 2024 class, saying, well, we let Saquon go, but we got Tyrone Tracy. We let this person go, and we got this person. We let Xavier McKinney go, and we got Tyler Nubin. So even when he knows that he made mistakes, he still just continues to talk about this rookie class. He's still talking about building a winning culture. Joe, it's year 3. You're heading into year 4. If you're still trying to build a winning culture, you may be a year or two behind. To be honest, I hate when Joe Shane has press conferences. Yesterday, I said that I believe he's the guy. I would stick with him, and I feel less confident about him after those press conferences. I don't think that he does. I don't think he's a good public speaker. Obviously, he knows how to convey his thoughts, but man, I just think sometimes he thinks he is just the smartest man in the world, and he knows what the right thing to do at all times is, and he makes no mistakes. And he talked about the 2022 and the 2023 rookie draft class being good. No, it's not. You drafted 18 players, and only 2 of them are going to get second contracts. And one of them is John Michael Schmitz, who is a bottom 10 starting center in this league. I believe Joe Shane can make this team a contender, but man, his press conferences, they are lousy. Grade his tenure so far as the general manager. I want to hear from you. I know you can't throw your players under the bus, but man, I wish he would just come out and set a pitter pattern around the subject and saying, I messed up on Daniel Jones. I messed up. But he didn't. He won't do that. ABCDRF, greatest tenure so far. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at @MarshallGreen_ is the handle on both. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.